Put your hands together for Finn Wolfhard and Billy Brick.
The wonderful Fred Heckinger. Abby Quinn, please, as Claire. Who's next? Mike. Tavares, Mike, come on. Paradise Ceremius, Debbie, please. Julia Lamont, please, as Noelle. Julia Doyle as Miley. Matthew Finland, please, as Ezra. Come on. Yeah. Tristan as Shannon. And Susan Klein, please. And Daniel Gravel as Porter, please.
Come up to the light and take a bath.
Are we forgetting anyone? Please, Don? Please, so we're not forgetting. Okay, good. We're all here. Awesome.
Amazing. Well, guys, collect some questions out there, but first of all, I'm going to start things off. So, Finn, Billy, when in deciding what to, attack for your first feature film project, what was it about the slasher genre that attracted you, appealed to you?
Well, we both. By the way, that was incredible. That's really crazy. Thank you guys so much. I grew up watching slasher films, and I was a huge fan of the genre, obviously. But weirdly, comedy came first. Teen comedy was the thing that we both bonded over immediately, when we first met. And then the slasher thing came second, just sort of as a way to kind of.
Yeah, we had both. I had written a scene just as a sketch, which was basically there's a summer camp slasher going around, and there's a kill list that's published, and then they decided by who's the hottest, and then there was a character who was really upset that he wasn't at the top of the list. And then I had told Finn about it. I was like, I have this idea, it's not really formed, and Finn was like, dude, I wrote that exact same scene.
I wrote the same scene.
And then you gotta just build something based off of that, and then that's what we
Can you guys believe this was written by actors too? Thinking about their looks? Yeah. So that's, I guess, right here.
And how did you find this is an incredible cast. Let's
Yeah.
give it up for you. First of all, there's the cast in the writing of a slasher. There's the cast of characters themselves. So how did you first decide on the characters that you were going to feature in the slasher? What was that writing process like? And then I'd love to learn how you met everyone and how you found everyone.
I guess we kind of just wanted to lean into, archetypes that we had seen in other films, but then also base it off of ourselves and our weird friends that we grew up with. And we
biographical then.
Sort of, in too many ways, unfortunately. But we started writing it, and then there was way more characters, and it was really kind of wacky, our first draft, and then we kind of just distilled it down to who we thought was absolutely necessary. And then in the casting process, finding everybody was such a joy for us. And a lot of these actors actually read for multiple parts, and we're like, who are they going to fit in as? And everybody killed it. We knew we wanted them all in the film, and I'm so proud of the ensemble that we had.
And we had amazing casting directors too. Carmen Cuba was our casting director, and our Canadian casting, Sarah Kay. They really killed it, and were incredible. So yeah, please give me a
So I want to turn over the cast, because we all know what Finn and Billy are like on one side of the camera, but I want to hear from the cast about what they have to say about Finn and Billy as directors.
Who wants to take this?
Fred should start, just because of the line.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, clearly we know they're amazing directors, and it's really never happened before that I think both because they were in it, but also because we're all around the same age, and also just because of who they are as people. I think I felt very like we were actually all together in this. And you know, the one thing is you just kind of want to make them laugh or make them proud, and you're also thinking that when you're doing a scene with them, and then you're sort of coming in and out and building it together. And it was just they're sort of they're the best directors.
You must have felt that you were all actually at a summer camp in many respects, because I mean, I feel, having been on a film set myself, it is like summer camp sometimes.
I mean, that's
Absolutely.
another reason why we said that at camp. We met on set, and we were all staying at a hotel, and everybody was young and hanging out. It's like, we never went to summer camp, really, and really, this is our summer camp experience. And then we filmed on this incredible old Boy Scouts camp in like 3 hours, north of here in Ontario. And we stayed at this lodge, and it really did feel like summer camp, making it.
These guys all stayed in the same house. Like, they all roomed together, they all slept. Me, Fred, and Billy, and our director's assistant, Quincy Fox, who's in the audience, we all slept we slept at the camp for
one night.
One night, we couldn't handle it.
One night.
We had this idea so that we found a camp and we were like, oh, we're gonna all just sleep at the camp every single night. We're gonna film the camp and sleep there, and we slept there one night, and that was the one time we did it.
Yeah. But yeah, it was. I mean, these guys really bonded. We all bonded, like, very heavily.
Anyone else want to sort of throw in sort of what it was like to
So Fred ended up the best director. So just
Any more compliments for them?
Best directors ever. Yeah, we were all like staying in the exact same house and would just hang out all night into the morning, not really sleeping. Yeah, I think it was immediate, and we all had shared interests and taste, and yeah, it was the best summer ever. Yeah,
What was
not
the?
just-
I mean, there's a lot of comedy that feels very spontaneous in the film, and so was all of that on the page, or was a lot of that just through the sheer collaboration of you and the cast through the process of rehearsing and preparing the scene?
I mean, a lot of it, I mean, amazing, like, everyone's an amazing improviser. There's really only like a few moments in the movie that are improvised, or the one that like still like actually makes me laugh a lot. I mean, all of them still make me laugh, but the one that specifically makes me laugh is the one where like Fred and Abby are walking to the bonfire, and he's like, do you think they'll have meanies, like, at the fire? And she's like, what? What are you talking about? Like, that's all improvised. And just like little moments, like,
The good thing is, yeah, everybody was improvising in character so frequently, even if it wasn't with like lines or jokes. There's just so many specific moments that we found in the edit and during the process of making it, where people were just like, that's a really funny thing to cut to. That's cool. But yeah, I mean, everybody was so prepared, obviously, and we had to film very quickly, but everybody was ready to go, and we did it as fast as we could.
Yeah, no, I mean, oftentimes you don't have much time on a film shoot, but I'm curious. I'd love to learn more about the fight sequence between DeFer and Billy, because that is full of great stunts. It's very physical. What went into preparing for that sequence? How was it to shoot it?
I had an awesome stunt double who looked so much like me that
he was a
freaking-
French Canadian guy that was like, oh guys, you guys ready for today? And they're like, yeah.
You could do backflips and like standing, and then I just so many times just like we do like the Texas switch or whatever it's called. I'm like, I'm gonna do a flip, and then we pan away and come back and do it. And then we had this incredible stunt coordinator Dan, and
I mean, Billy's really getting his shit kicked. Like, that's him getting thrown through the ping pong table, and like, there's a lot of that's Billy. Like, DeFer accidentally punched Billy in the face one take. We kept that in, and it was great. I mean,
Real punch?
yeah, it's real punch.
there was a few real punches. Yeah, that was weird.
But no, it was like a lot of planning. That was the one obviously we planned the most. We didn't just like burn something down. It was a very, very planned, coordinated thing. But DeFer was so on top of it and incredible.
Yeah, he actually threw that log was really on fire. Like,
Yeah.
Sorry, just to interrupt, but we were doing this safety demonstration because I have to throw an actual flaming log in his direction, and obviously they're like, throw it away from him. Don't hit him with the log. Do you want? I'm off camera. Should someone else throw the log? I'm like, no, it's fine. You throw the log. And then I did it a couple times, and then DeFaro just came up to me and whispered, he's like, throw that shit right at me. So that's the one we kept his ducks out of the way. I think it looks so cool every time.
that whole scene was a lot of fun. One time we actually got to go through the wall. We jumped back and actually went through the wall. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
To me, what's crazy about that scene is like there's a part that whole part, the boner like part of the scene, that was added like completely last second. Billy had like written it, and like we didn't want to tell anyone because like we just wanted to
It's
shoot
been a
it.
tough sell. We were like, nothing's gonna work. So we tried it. We did it in one take, and Finn came up and was like, we're using it. That's great.
Yeah, well, he was like, I have this idea, like, and gave it to me. I was like, this is fucking funny singer. And then I ran over to DeFero. I'm like, do you want to do this? Like, yeah, let's do it. And we just did it. We ran it, and yeah, it's like my favorite scene in the movie because I'm very juvenile. But I just like that scene a lot. And DeFero was so prepared, was like so funny and committed to it. But yeah, it was very, it was crazy.
I'm going to give an opportunity for some people in the audience to ask some questions. All the way up there, yes. Will Bobby ever jump the plane?
These are the questions we've been waiting to answer. Yeah, so the question, if no one heard,
Yeah, the question was basically just what the sequel? Are we gonna Elvis over 2?
I think Bobby learned his limits on this one. I think he knows he doesn't have to jump the fire for people to like him, hopefully. I mean,
But you guys are gonna make another
like,
movie. You guys are gonna make another movie,
yes,
right?
yeah,
Like you're addicted now, right?
Yes.
yeah, I mean, we've had joke ideas on like just like doing a movie that's just completely just like Aliens. It's just Aliens. It's the same cast.
Oh, that would be amazing.
But yeah, I mean, I don't. You know, you can only go so far with a movie like this. So, but yeah, thank you for already asking.
I mean, I love the idea of you guys all singing together, though. That's great. Right there, yes. Yeah, crafting the visual style of the film. What inspired
We
that?
can shout out our guy, Chris Bennell. As everyone can see, yeah, we had just a bunch of great conversations with him about exactly that, visual references that sort of were, you know, older slasher films, older horror films, and Chris just pulled off a miracle. Again, I can't stress how quickly we had to shoot, and Chris was just killing it
So amazing.
every single day. I also just quickly, because if anybody here worked on the film, please
stand up. A lot of people are here.
It took so much.
So the guy that's asking this question is drunk.
I love slashers. I'm always curious how you decide who dies first.
Good question. After 12 beers, that's a very good question. Who dies first? How do you decide who dies first in writing the script?
Adam Pally dies first.
Yeah, Adam Pally dies first.
That's sort of a rule. We just really wanted to do a cold open that obviously set the tone and just sort of set a sense of like, there are no adults here. So we wanted to kill the adults as quickly as possible.
Which is in a sense what we did on set as well. Because, yeah, I mean, it was just a lot of, they give 2 kids money to make a movie. I mean, I really want to thank Dirty West, who gave us the money for us. You guys are the greatest. Thank you so much. Like, really, thank you so much. You know, to trust us to make this really crazy movie is a lot. Yeah, we're really proud to call you guys partners. Thank you.
Also, really quick, Finn and I were supposed to die in this movie several times.
Yeah.
It was planned from the beginning, and then every time we were writing, we were like,
These guys are too funny.
but we, you know, so that was it was gonna be us, and then it was not. And then I mean, come on, we were actors, we're selfish.
For the last question, I just want to hear from, give the cast a chance to say, what was just one of the highlights or memorable moments that on set that you keep with you forever?
It was that we all got to chill in the same house. We were there the whole time and really got to, you know, build a family, I like to say, honestly. It was very beautiful.
Julia.
We went on a fishing trip
We did.
and we jumped off cliffs.
Yeah.
We nearly had a near-death accident.
Yeah.
Bonding experience.
Our producers are in the audience.
I want to report that.
Just kidding.
Okay, yeah, no, we want to talk about it.
Let's make sure you guys are listening.
I liked on the first night, Billy, I think it was Billy and Fib, but Billy was particularly adamant on it. He made us all make like friendship bracelets for each other before we started camping or filming, I guess actually. Yeah, that was so.
Yeah, I remember. Oh, what were you?
That was my sister's idea. That was my little sister's idea. She's here.
Good idea.
It was like we were all so on a one-track mind together. Also, Susan, thank you so much. I really thank you for being a part of this.
The only adult that doesn't die.
Yeah, the only adult that doesn't die in the film. It was like we were all so close, truly, and like I remember when we were shooting like the scene where like the Billy's flying over the camera like into the lake. It was just like. We were trying to get as much height as possible because Chris is operating, our DP is operating, he's in the water. Quincy, our director assistant, is like beside him, and they can like overhear us being like, "Should we get like a picnic table? Because we need height. We need more height to get over the thing." And Chris is like, "No, that's dangerous. Don't do that." And like telling children basically to not do that. And Quincy and Chris start like pissing themselves laughing because they're just like, I can't believe they gave these guys the funds to make this film. And we can't believe it either, because I keep saying it over and over again. But,
Well, it's not a dream. Everyone, please give them a round of applause. They're going to throw some shirts. And if you worked on the movie,
which way we go?